I'm really honored to have this opportunity to have Emi Tull here on the podcast. Emi, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you
Thank
for inviting me.
You are welcome. I am really excited to hear about your journey into yoga or through yoga. Can you tell me a little bit about, well, number one, I'd like to start off, where do you live?
I live in London at the moment.
Wonderful. And where were you born?
I born in Japan.
Great. And when did you learn English?
Oh, English was that my worst subject when I started in school. We had in Japan, we had to do the English as a part of the study, and from the about just 12, 13 years old. Now I think they started much earlier, but yeah, I think I didn't know how to learn the language. So yeah, the English was the worst one for me. But then I moved to after the graduate school. I went to New York and I lived there. Still rubbish at an English, but then yeah, gradually, little by little, gaining little words, tiny bit each. So yeah, so I didn't. Yeah, and my English I'm not always proud about.
Well, you sound amazing. So that's, I can imagine that's an incredible challenge. I can't imagine trying to learn Japanese, to be honest, to learn a whole new set of characters and all the things that go into learning language. So well done. I'm curious, did you leave Japan and come to New York like when you were 18, or how old were you when you
I was a little bit later, about 20, I think I was 21.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I went for the dance. I had a dance career and I was practicing dance and then I had one teacher who was very inspiring and then she was in a dance company in New York and she invited me to come with along with her. And that's the start. I visited a little bit, like a month and a half, and then a group I practiced with invited me to perform in a couple months later. So I went back to Japan and I got the visa and then decided to move. So
Wow.
I started living there.
Wow, that's cool. So after officially moving to New York, were you employed as a dancer?
That time I was still part of the students and then performing as a student. And
Gotcha, gotcha.
then they stayed for after that much longer than I expected. But yes,
Understood. And at what point did you start to practice yoga?
yoga is much later. I wish I knew that the Sri Dharma Mittra was that time, but I was walking forward in front of the studio all the time, but then I didn't know. And uh, I met my husband after the 10 years of the New York stay, and then I moved to, we had a relationship like a long distance for 2 years. So I decided to move to London because he was British and find out after we met.
Yeah.
So, and then straight after I moved to New York, from New York to London, I got a bike accident and I twisted both ankles. So I couldn't dance anymore. Couldn't wear the ponch shoes and I couldn't dance anymore. And then I felt like I wanted to have, after my ankle got a little recovered, I wanted to do something. And then I did a little bit of yoga, uh, like some just normal yoga and stuff like that. And then in the meantime, the while I was apart, away from the physical practice, I was more interested in spiritual learning and watching YouTube and then stuff about the Dalai Lama and Tibetan monks and then while I was watching those spiritual videos, I saw Sri Dharma Mittra was talking. I think that was, I can't remember which. that was anymore, but it was very, very short, like 1 minute or two, and he was probably talking about the compassion. Just felt that when looking at him, I don't know, felt so connected. Oh, this is my teacher. And then I again went to the normal yoga class and then felt that he's not in front of me, but then I practiced in other yoga class and I felt like he's calling me. I felt I need him to guide me, and I cried in the class for the needed to be with him. So then I searched, okay, I have to do this wherever he teaches, and then I found out that was Dharma Yoga, and so that is the start of my Dharma Yoga journey.
That's really cool, Emmy. I love hearing that story. I like the fact too that you brought up that while you were living in New York City, you had been walking in front of the studio maybe on a regular basis, having no idea it's there. And then
Mm.
to have such a powerful sense of connection even prior to having the opportunity to meet with them. That's amazing. That's powerful.
Yeah, I now think in the beginning, I thought, why didn't I met me him when I was there, and then what come I have I thought in the beginning. But now I see that my journey, look back, and if I met him that time when I was in New York, I probably didn't come to London. I didn't marry. Probably I'm shaving my head, and then maybe I've been numb, and then maybe living close to Sri Dharma Mittra. Probably I probably have done that. So it's that made me come to the London. That's how I see. And then now serve people uh, with the Sri Dharma's knowledge, and then I try to serve here. So I think this that way how it had to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably didn't come, and then people in London didn't have me.
Yeah.
So things probably slightly different. So I think that was the way how it had to be.
Yeah.
But then go back to training, I knew the city very well. So it was easy for me to go. So if that was he was like in India or somewhere, then maybe I consider should I go? I don't know the city, but because he was in New York, oh, I know the city. I can walk around, and then
Yeah.
yeah, my husband said, okay, if you know the city, go ahead. So that was very easy to go back. So I was perfect. So I think it was the way how it had to be.
Oh, it's so cool, Emmy. You know, you're if I am employ the listener to follow you on Instagram. Your handle is at Emi Tull, and it's spelled EMITULL. And then
Yeah.
I also went to your website, which is lifetohappiness.com, and I noticed that on your website that you're teaching, or you have listed the Indaba Yoga Studio in London, the Light Center, Belgravia in England, the Tri Yoga Chelsea, Tri Yoga Camden, Tri Yoga Shoreditch, all these different studios. Are these all places that you teach in London?
I think you received a little bit old information.
Okay, fair enough.
The recently, unfortunately, the London, I even one point, maybe if we talked last year, yes, I was teaching all that. So I was moving around places, and how many classes I'm teaching is about the same at the moment as well. But unfortunately, some studios start closing down in London. So I think after the lockdown, I think some studios didn't survive. And so Light Center Belgrave is no longer available to offer the yoga class.
Gotcha.
So I don't teach there anymore. And uh, Try Yoga Shoreditch and Camden, I no longer teach there. But I teach in a new studio called Mission E1. That's it's being said, one of the biggest studio in Europe at the moment.
Oh, wow.
And they kindly gave me a space to teach Dharma Yoga. So I serve the classes there, 6 classes a week there as well. In Dharma Yoga, I'm still teaching as well. So, and in Tri Yoga Chelsea as well, I'm teaching.
Wow.
So I'm teaching in 3 places at the moment.
Wow. That's impressive. How did your journey evolve from the day that you taught your first class to where you are now? I'm curious what type of reception you received in England as a Dharma yoga teacher. Did you find that people were very hungry or interested in Dharma yoga, or are you finding that you had to be a bit of a pioneer to help inspire and set the standard?
The first time it's changed quite a lot. In the beginning, uh, the class is not as strong and other whole yoga in London that was not very strong. I think the
Yeah.
whole world changed, especially after the lockdown. But then now used to teach, then if let's say unbalances, not so many classes were doing. So I introduced many students, and then now they're becoming teachers, and they're spreading those practice as well. Has changed a lot, and awareness of the pranayama and stuff as well. More people do nowadays teacher trainings everywhere, so they are more aware of those pranayama practice meditation and even philosophical part is more people interested, I think. But significant change I feel is the chanting. When I start introducing the chanting, because when I was trying to sing and everybody's so shy, no one was singing, they didn't know what that
Yeah.
is, and being so shy. Now when I teach, especially the regular followers, they know the words and they just sing so loud. Sometimes it's difficult to hear myself very loud. So it's just changed so beautiful. So it's uh, yeah, evolving this yoga practice in London. I guess that's in other cities as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then Dharma Yoga also many students practice Sri Dharma Mittra and then decided to train with him. So we get more Dharma Yoga teachers in London as well. So it's beautiful that they're sharing his teachings.
That's cool, Emmy. Did you play a part in organizing the gathering that occurred in England or London this last year when Dharma went and taught there? I heard there was a large group that ended up
Oh
practicing.
yes, that was beautiful. Yes, I think Adam, Andrew, and in Dharma Yoga mainly done most of the parts. So I'll just try to support a little bit as much
Sure.
as I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So yes, that was wonderful to be part of it and then supporting this event. That was beautiful.
That's cool, Emmy. You said you like to lead kirtan and or mantra practice. Do you play an instrument to accompany you when you chant?
I use harmonium, yes.
Yeah, nice. Do you have a favorite chant that you always gravitate toward?
I like all of them. I pick up the ones that I sound when I'm listening to the I'm not having any talent to create anything new. So I just pick up, let's
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
like some of the artists and Krishna Das or few different artists and I hear that some so resonate to my heart and I just try to pick up the chord with the and then just arrange a little bit and then chant it with the students most of the time. But then I think there are many Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna. I think many of them. I think I have got some six, seven of them. I have my favorites. So I think Maha Mantra I have more uh, option to chant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Can you explain how chanting or mantra helps your spiritual practice?
My personal self practice in the beginning. When I went to the New York, and then in New York they chant a lot. Adam chants beautifully, and Sri Dharma used to be occasionally chants. And then when in London there was no such a thing that time, or maybe I wasn't aware of it. So I thought I'm gonna do it, and I asked Adam, "Can you help me to how to do this?" And then he said, "Okay, take the video." And he just, "Which one do you want?" And I asked Chaiganesha and then Onnama Shivaya, and then, "Okay, take the recording." And then I had my iPod, and then just took the his video recording, and then that was it. So I had to go home and then bought a harmonium and one by one look and hit the video and I was to do one by one. But
Yeah.
then I end up with his hands are much wider than me and his voice was higher than me as well. So I had to change the code for myself. And then I thought, okay, I had to practice myself. And then when I practiced, I had my own harmonium. I had my teacher, Sri Dharma Mitra's photo on my harmonium. And then practiced it. Once I practiced, time goes so quickly, like 5, 6 hours, just goes like a split second. And then that is that I don't have as much time anymore. But then when I do every day, like 5, 6 hours of the practice of that, it just makes you cry. So I think it was a purification. It's not that because I'm sad, but it's just more like a joy and bliss and just to offer this chanting to teacher. And that feels so beautiful. And that was the great practice. I think one, meditation and a purification combination of that, I think. Yeah, that really helped. And but I had to practice a lot until I get to in front of the students. As soon as someone I
Yeah.
hear walking or something, then I make a mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it took me like 6 months to practice to before I bring it into the class.
Yeah.
But then yeah, now I'm getting used to it. But then also my voice changed. Used to be when I even asana practice, I keep the cues. My voice was probably a little bit quieter, and that was the issue for my teaching. But now people say my voice, especially when sing, they said they feel some vibration and they feel in the heart. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not in my own kirtan as the receiver, but then some people kindly say that a good comment about it. So I'm very happy that the people feel something
Yeah.
in their heart. So that really helps.
That's
That,
cool, Emmy.
yeah.
That's so interesting. I really appreciate you explaining all that. That's amazing.
Mm.
Do you know in India culture, there's a strong sense of reverence and appreciation for elders and appreciation for teachings being passed down through lineage and shared in that way. And being that you've grown up in Japan and Japanese culture, which I often hear from people, I've never had the opportunity to go to Japan, but I hear that there's a similar type of respect for elders, appreciation for family, and reverence. And then you've had an opportunity to live in both the United States and England. Can you talk a little bit about what you've noticed culturally between your roots and history growing up in Japan and how it's similar and or different to what you've experienced in America and England?
Yeah, like you said, yes, in Japan we have those being respectful to elders and teachers are very high. So I think that culture helped me a lot for this journey. So it's natural for me to feel respectful to teacher and obedient to teacher. So yes, I feel that if yeah, if we just generally talking about it, I see the difference in a way. So that it's just really like generally speaking, of course, that the Western countries slightly different. but then many people actually do like martial arts or stuff like that. They also have to learn how to bow when they see the teacher. So some people already have, even the people born in the Western countries. And so because I said generally, because sometimes some students feels like they're just coming to the asana practice and then just being customer instead of being student.
Yeah.
That happens especially often in Western countries, and in Japan might be slightly different. I never do the yoga in Japan, but I think it's a bit different being because when students from Japan come in, they calling me sensei teacher. So it's a different. But after having said that, actually, I think depends on the soul. Even the people coming from let's say, Italy, from in England, some of them are very respectful and they are very spiritual. They are very respectful from the heart instead of not just that's the way it should be to
Mm,
teacher.
yeah.
So even some students coming from Japan, they are I don't say surface, but then they are very kind and very respectful in their action. But then, you know, I don't know how to explain, but then some of the students from even Western countries, they, from the heart, they really comes is an appreciation. They're half crying to see me. I'm not that. It's just a reflection of their
Yeah. Yeah.
pureness already is just comes out when they see me. That's all. So it's not about me, but it's the heart is already so pure and so all the soul is there.
Yeah.
So I can't really say that it's just because they're coming from where.
I
It's
like
just
that, Amy.
generally,
Yeah.
yes, more people, more actually respectable from some Asian country people maybe, but I can't really say. Because some of them, even people coming from the India or Japan, they don't say hello when they see, and they're just going to prepare and then just practice. And
Yes.
so some of people coming from the America, they say hello and thank you for and greeting me very nicely as well. So yeah, I think it's nowadays a multicultural. They learn so many things from many different things, and then I think depends what they are, how much their soul is old or how they've been through in this lifetime. So yeah, I it's interesting. Sometimes some students say that this student is not behaving very well because they are not from Asia, and I said. It's not really. Some of the students actually know and act better than, I'm not saying to them exactly, but then
Yeah.
not this, the person who think they're the more spiritual. Actually, some of them are more deeper. And even they don't say it, I feel that when they are listening to me, their eyes are like that, and half crying when I chant, some of them are crying. And I think that depends on their soul instead of where they are raised or
Good answer, Emmy. That's a great answer. I really appreciate that. And I that makes me think as you're talking, as you're explaining that, if we were to look for evidence that there's the potential that reincarnation is real, that it almost seems that that could point towards some evidence of that because maybe if reincarnation is real and I lived in a body in a different era, in a different time, in a different culture, and then I come into this body, maybe we do carry a certain sense of, like you said, soul depth or old soul sort of quality. So I like the fact that you put attention on maybe it's not so much cultural and it could be something that comes from deeper than that.
Yeah, because some people, we don't remember what happened in life before, but then the soul is experiencing it. So you get more conscious of something more subtle. And then I think their heart is calling to go, even let's say they are born in somewhere that is not very spiritual in a sense, but then their soul is calling, they might be able to find teacher, or they feel like moving to somewhere and then they find a way. So yeah, I think the soul is calling to lead them to go where they are supposed to go.
Yeah. Good answer, Emmy. I'm curious. You have your finger on the pulse in the England or London yoga scene. Can you tell me what some of the challenges that you're hearing from other yoga teachers that you interact with? Can you share a little bit about what you're hearing, either from your own personal experience or what you're hearing from other teachers that you interact with? What some of the challenges that you feel like you might and or the community might be facing?
I'm not sure
Ah,
if any challenge is going on. Of course, the city nowadays after because the lockdown, um, I think many students want to do physical exercise in a short time and just get fit. So one point yoga was very popular. Uh, some people wanted to the spiritual part, but some people just wanted to the physical part. And then nowadays online classes are available, so you don't have to leave home. And if you just want to get fit, you just go into short class and a Pilates class, like less than 1 hour. So I think the popularity of yoga becoming a little bit lower here in London. And that is a little bit of the sad part. But then, but still, the people who really want to do yoga and they still practice and they're still calling for it. So yeah, I think
yeah,
it's the way I don't see any difficulty. Just see as just watching how it goes,
yeah,
just to see the flow and just go with it. And if I can help anything, then I'll just go try to do my best to yeah do service whatever I can give. That's all it is. Yeah.
nice. Emmy. I appreciate that. How do you navigate your own personal physical challenges in yoga in relation to just the experience of aging and growing and evolving? Do you have any has your practice changed, or your physical practice, your asana practice? Or are you in a place where you feel absolutely amazing and don't have any aches or pains? Has How has your experience of the asana practice evolved over the years?
Uh, As as I told you, I moved to New York originally because I was going to dance. So I've been doing a physical aspect of the training all my life, basically. So when I decided to do yoga, it's just for that's a spiritual practice. So I didn't want to have any particular, I didn't have any desire to be more flexible or stronger or anything like that. So I don't really mind that if you can do stuff or not actually,
That's
as long
cool.
as student can see what they have to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, more challenge is to keep up the asana practice, continue. Otherwise, I easy to drawn to the pranayama meditation or chanting using up my time for that. So I had to practice. That's why I had to keep telling myself to keep. But then during the COVID, we had online class, and then I was teaching this room. And until then, I never really had the injury. But then I had an injury. I wasn't sure what that was. I didn't do anything, but suddenly my knee started hurting, and then I keep going funny, and it's getting a lot better, but still ongoing, just a little bit, still having a little bit. One point it was very difficult to even walk, and I was limping. But I think that was because of the online teaching and the one side demoing and then the other side, I wanted to go to see students sitting on the table and then try to uh,
Ah. That's
adjust
interesting.
students on
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
So I put so one-sided probably, and I'm still going even now I back to the yoga studio and teaching. But then as soon as I see the second side, they know what to do. Then I want to use my body to help and adjust people. Some people need to be upside down, and I try to help them. So I just run for it. That's why they're easy to miss that second side.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think that is the cause in the problem. So I get injury, getting better, try to fix it at home, my own self practice. So just that actually injury forced me to do my asana practice. So it's in a way good to have this injury. Otherwise, I get too lazy to not do asana practice. But definitely feel that getting older and I'm not as flexible as I used to be and as not as strong as I used to be. But I don't really mind. I don't need, I think students know what to do. And if students, they want to do further, they want to become more strong and flexible, I'm happy to help. But I don't mind it for myself.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
long as I can show what they have to do. Yeah. And then I know I have experience of that, how it feels like when I'm flexible. So I can help people flexible to go deeper.
Yeah.
So it's just that only some students see me easy variation. I mean, you know, I have to demo more on the easy demo modification to the new
Mm.
people. More
Yeah.
experienced
Good
students
point,
don't
Amy.
need that much of the demo actually.
Yeah.
So I try to show the modification, and some students who cannot do the full pose try to copy me to teach similar thing and then try to give advanced poses in their own classes. Then I thought that it's little bit of the danger that because they don't know how it's supposed to feel, but they're teaching something advanced.
Yeah.
So sometimes I thought I had to do that the full pose to show that I can do to those students who think okay to not be able to do but can teach. But I think they should be able to do some stuff to be able to teach because you have to know how it feels like and what you have they have to be careful if they are flexible, stronger.
Yeah. Good point, Amy.
But yeah, but for me, I don't mind going older and cannot do stuff. That's fine. I won't be able to do 86 years old and whatever Sri Dharma is doing. But I think my student will forgive me. And a good thing is that being yoga teacher is that it's I I don't have to feel worry about being getting old. Sri Dharma Mittra once said that it's good to have more gray hair than people. You don't change, but they actually respect you more. And then that is very encouraging for me. Okay, if I get older, maybe they can learn to how to be respectful to teacher, then that's good for them. So all right, it's okay if I get older. So yeah. Of course, it's nice to do some posits with students, so I still try keep up, and then I want them to be able to do some new poses or new variations. I try to keep up, of course, but then I don't mind if I lose some stuff.
Oh, I love your philosophy, Emmy. That is really refreshing. It's very refreshing to have to hear a yoga teacher say, I'm okay with letting go of my yoga posturing being seen as perfect or, ideal. I really appreciate hearing that. That's extremely refreshing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't know that we always bump into that, Emmy.
Sorry?
I don't know that we always bump into that. I don't know that everyone really feels that relaxed about it.
Oh, really? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm giving up too early then. I should do it more. But
No,
we're going to the age anyway, so
good
it,
point. Great
it's just
point.
yeah, it's someday I'm gonna be just won't be able to do stuff then. So shifting up little by little. So trying to um I'm more like I have to be able to raise my spiritual part stronger. That's I
Mm,
have to prepare myself. Once I cannot do that asana enough, then you know. I maybe I can teach something more spiritual part, but I think I'm not ready yet to go even deeper. So I had to keep up to be able to serve people to get more interest in
Yeah.
uh, spiritual part. That's the whole point of the yoga.
Yeah.
So asana part is just trying to have fun with the students, and if they want to do it, go ahead, I'll help you, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. That's awesome, Emmy. How do you advertise or market your yoga teaching? Do you focus mostly on just being present in person and just showing up and just seeing who shows up and just working with the people that show up and then just wait to see if more people show up the next time? Or do you have to dedicate a certain amount of time to, doing the things like social media, um, emailing, all that kind of stuff? How do you bring balance into that into your practice and teaching?
I don't have too much time to advertise my thing, and I have a social media because when I did the training, end of the training, they said that maybe it's good to have the account to let students know that your schedule. So minimum trying to give the students the information if the schedule change is happening or and nowadays there's a story that the daily going on. So I try to post that next day. I'm teaching tomorrow this, so that takes just 1 minute or so. So I do on my phone on train, so it's
Yeah.
very quick.
Yeah.
So, but I don't use that time that much. I don't take my video or photo of my poses or anything. It's nothing to show anyway. So just using old.
Yeah. That's refreshing too, Emmy. I like that approach as well. I appreciate that. I think that's good advice. Take a minute or two, let people know, and then just focus on practice and teaching. Uh-oh, maybe we froze up. I think possibly we just lost our connection. I'm gonna hang out for a moment